New faces here, so I think I should introduce myself. I'm Stewart Pidfellow. You can call me Stu. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry I was late today. Normally when I come here, I try to be the very first one here. Okay, but I was late because something happened at work. Okay, there's a story. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
So me and some of the guys at work, we've been trying to form a union. Because we're tired of the way they've been treating us. They've been making us work too long hours and not paying us enough. And sometimes they make us come in on the weekends and work for free, pay us nothing. Okay? So me and the boys, we came together and we said, enough is enough. Okay? So we confronted the boss. Okay? We said to him, boss, we demand better hours, better wages, and no more weekend freebies. Everyone was like, yeah, like yelling in solidarity. Okay. And then the boss, he's like, all right, guys, hold on. I hear you. How about this? How about instead of the better wages and shorter hours, I throw you guys a pizza party. I'll put on a movie too. We'll have a movie night pizza party at the office. Huh? And the other guys, they turned and looked at me, because I'm the leader of the union. So I took a step forward. I looked the boss right in the eye, and I said, okay. I'll do it. I did. So that's why I was late today, because I was at the office watching Shrek and eating cheap pizza. Okay? But anyway, so now that I'm here, what I want to talk about. I never have enough time to talk about all the things I want to talk about. So on Tuesdays, I go to the BRI tap room. You know what I talk about? I tell jokes about penises. Because that's what they want to hear. Honest to God, that is the only thing they will laugh at. So I just give them what they want, okay? When I come here on Thursdays, I like to talk about politics, okay? So people like that here, okay? But my dream is to one day have my own show where I can talk about everything, because I'll have enough time. Okay? And I'm going to call it Pidfellow's Penises and Politics. It'll be on PBS. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so politics. What's new? Oh yeah, so war with Iran. That's a thing now. Thanks, Israel. Anyway, so I noticed, the way the media is talking about it, they're like, Israel did a preemptive strike on Iran. Okay, they say preemptive strike because that's the Orwellian way of saying started a war. But I've noticed the propaganda now is not, it's a lot stupider than it was 20 years ago. And if you remember the Iraq invasion 20 years ago, the propaganda, okay, well, I'll teach you.
I was two.
The propaganda was something like this. They would say, they're like, we have to take out Saddam Hussein because he has nuclear weapons. And if we don't take him out, he's going to nuke us. Okay? And then, reasonable people would hear that and they would say, are you sure that's true? Do you have evidence to support that? And then they would say, this is what they would actually say, they would say, would you want to wait for the evidence to show up in the form of a mushroom cloud over New York City? And no one ever really thought of a good rebuttal to that one question. So we invaded Iraq. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Okay? But this time around, with Iran, they can't use that same propaganda because we actually know for a fact that they don't have nuclear weapons. So they're doing something different, okay? So my friend, he was this really stupid friend, and he was watching, way too much TV. And he said to me, he's like, we have to go to war with Iran because the women of Iran, we have to liberate them. He's like, they have to wear headscarves. He's like, and they're not allowed to wear bikinis. Can you believe it? They can't even wear bikinis. So I was like, so let me get this straight. You want us to bomb the shit out of a country, kill hundreds of thousands of people, turn cities to rubble, so the women could wear bikinis? I was like, and he was like, well, you just don't get it because you've never been to Iran, okay? You're not from there, and you're not a woman, so you can never understand what it's like to be a woman in Iran. I was like, okay, that's true. I can try to just imagine, let's do this. Let me imagine, a woman in Iran must feel like if a bomb falls on her house and blows it up. When she sees a pile of rubble, is she going to say, well, look on the bright side. Pretty soon, I can wear my bikini. She's probably not going to say that. She's probably going to say, oh fuck, my house is destroyed. Or she'll say, Lanati, Chanem Nabucho. That's what she'd say in her native language. Anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I do support women's rights. I think women should be allowed to wear what they want. Okay. I just think the right to not have your house blown up supersedes the right to wear a bikini. Is that a controversial take? We agree on that? Okay. Anyway, so that's about all I wanted to talk about tonight. But yeah, Stewart Pidfellow. See you next time.